Hey Chris, how come you're so far away?
Well, I'll tell you what, PJ, 8 days left in the Mach Dream giveaway, and I just had to get in and I forgot how comfortable it is in here.
Well, I'm over here because I want to hear you come up here.
I want to park right next to the Mustang that we're giving away on Friday.
Sounds good. Chris, I could hear...
Sounds good?
Yeah, I could hear some noise a little bit, but it wasn't because of this engine at all.
Yeah? Well, you could hear the tires.
I could hear the tires,
on
yeah,
the
yeah.
floor. It's comfortable in there. PJ, come on around and sit in it for a second, will you?
All right, what do we got here? First off...
No, I'm not going to open the hood.
We're talking today the electric Mach, right?
Yeah, we've got 8 days left for people to enter to win. It's cooler than you realize, PJ. So I've got it in a park right here. It's got that standard kind of wheel transmission. Even the GT500 has a similar looking transmission on it, or so you can go from drive, neutral, reverse, park. You even have a low gear in there if you need low. How cool is this? Come on, no, sit in and shut the door for a second, will you?
Well, sorry, I got you here because I can get it wider.
That's so cool. So I'm just going to show some real cool things here. I was looking for chargers in the area. Remember, last time we did something like this was when we gave away a Tesla and we were looking for chargers. There's chargers everywhere now. And I can look here and see there's even no cost chargers and available and open, and then there's ones on the Ford network. So let's say we're looking for no cost chargers. Within 1.2 miles, I've got them, PJ. Look at that.
Oh, so Ford's putting out no-cost chargers for people who own these Ford Mach-Es?
No, these look like municipalities. Like the Largo City Hall has a charge point. You can charge, no charge. Now, if we're looking for Ford-specific, Ford network ones, well, the same thing. Largo City Hall is on the Ford network, access mail. And I'm sure wherever you guys are, within a mile or two of your location, you'll be able to find some no-cost charging and some accessible charge points. But I think the key to this whole new electric thing is, one, are you going to be doing city driving? And if you're going to be doing city driving, then you put a charger in your garage, right? Or in your carport. And so you charge it up at night, and then the next day you've got, 200, 250 miles. Right now I've got 180 miles left on this charge. And think about it, in an average day, do you drive 180 miles? Most people don't, right? Do you, PJ?
Right.
I drive 5 miles to work, 5 miles home, maybe go hit the supermarket or whatever after work, or the gym, and do that. And so if that's the case, then you just plug it in with that flow charger that we're going to include. Charge it up at night. You don't have to pay a retail cost on commercial electricity from one of these retail chargers. You use one at your house. Who's out there on a Monday, PJ?
All right, so Alan says, I'm ready to win this darn car.
I think it's cool. And guys, you know how much I love muscle cars.
Yes, it says, what a huge tablet.
It's a huge tablet, right? Well, of course it does. And you can see I like looking at the chargers here again. We'll go back and we'll look at all the chargers here available and open.
Right, now we only have 8 days with this left.
8 days left.
We'll go through quite a bit of stuff.
So we can show them, we can look by distance here where they're at.
Alan wants to know, what is the average charge for the use of a charging station? I don't know.
That's a great question, and I can answer that, and I can tell you why I can answer that. So last summer, my wife and I decided to rent a electric vehicle. We did it from Hertz. You might have heard Hertz got in kind of a trouble thing for all their electric vehicles. But we rented a Volvo, and it was cool. So we went to one of those pay charger places. It was in the middle of Ohio, outside of Cleveland. And it averaged us about $2.90 if you convert that back to the gallon, right? So we saved a little bit of money, but not a whole lot of money. And that's back to my point. Where do you save the real money? By either going to these no-cost charging locations, right? Or by installing the home charger in your house, either at 120 volt, or at 220, 240. And You can hook them up either way. Of course, if you do 220, 240, please use a licensed electrician.
Alan says flow charger. That's progressive.
Flow charger, absolutely, and we're going to include one for the winter. So the real savings comes when you have the charger installed at your house, in your home, in your garage, or in your carport. If you're taking these out on road trips, it's not there yet, guys. I'm just being honest with you. This isn't a vehicle that you want to take for a 2,000-mile trip, because every time you get through about 200 miles, it's going to take about an hour to charge up, and that's even at the fastest charging stations that are out there. In fact, let me talk about that for a second. So if you look on here, there are charging stations, and I've got to remove all the filters here. So here are the ultra-fast stations that are within a driving distance of where we are right now. So right here, this means 100 plus kilowatt charging. That means that you can charge an entire vehicle in under 1 hour.
Kathy says, on my block, 4 neighbors have Teslas and they just plug in when they get home from work.
That's the easy way to do it. And honestly, right now, that's about the best way to do it. But if I need to get a ultra fast charger, the nearest one to me is 7 miles. Now, how about a standard charger here? So a fast charger is up to 100 kilowatts. So let's go back to that ultra fast. That is 100 plus kilowatts.
Right.
Go ahead, PJ.
When you were in Ohio, you obviously pulled up to a for-profit charging station.
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
You're doing something like that.
It was a for-profit charging station, and that's why it was barely cheaper than just filling up at the
Alan
pump.
wants to know, what is the drive range, and you're probably full tank right now, right? Because
full tank. Yeah. I filled it up with go-go electrons. Right now it's 83%, and the range is 180 miles. Here's the other thing you need to know about an electric vehicle. They recommend that you only charge them to 90%, that you don't put them to a full charge. So they'll say at a full charge you'll get, what, 260 out of this? But honestly, you only want to charge it to about 90, so you get maybe about 210.
Now, Chris, we talk a lot about what's going on with the fact that it's an electric vehicle and this big, huge dashboard. We don't really talk about the car itself. I mean, Ford put this whole thing together. As a matter of fact, I even see this little thing here that says Ford Performance
well, here's
right on
why.
the thing.
Because just like there were different models of the Camaro way back in the 60s, there were 6-cylinder Camaros, there were 2-barrel 327s, there were 4-barrel 350s, there were big block 396s. There are different models of the Mach-E. And this one is the high performance model. So it's called a Mach-E GT Performance Edition. What does that mean to you and me? It means 480 horsepower without having to get into the torque curve to experience that rush, that pushing you back into your seat.
Right. If you've never been in an electric vehicle before.
It's so crazy. It'll throw you back into your seat the second that you hit, I was about to say gas pedal, the second that you hit the throttle. That instant torque in an electric vehicle is utterly amazing.
Right. I've seen it
You've seen it.
You know, either at a light when you've got somebody who's really hopping on the accelerator here, and the minute the light turns green, and wow, whew, gone.
That's right. Now think about it. Right behind me, and PJ, you can show it here.
Yeah.
We've got a '66 Mustang, the highest horsepower Mustang available in 1966 was 271 horsepower. Now I get it. Some people disagree with this being called a Mustang Mach-E. I totally understand that. So let's just call it a Mach-E. But let's still talk about performance numbers. 271 horsepower 60 years ago, 59 years ago. 480 horsepower now in this vehicle. Almost twice as much horsepower. And it is a blast to drive. You know why people don't like them, PJ? They haven't gotten in them. They haven't experienced them. That's really, in my humble opinion, the reason why these haven't really taken off. But you hit that throttle and they take off. PJ, remember the Tesla, and one of the folks here took you for a drive in
I had my sunglasses on the top of my head, and they were in the back seat before we got to stop the vehicle.
Oh, it was so crazy. And I'll tell you, 480 horsepower, you charge it at your house. I think you guys should enter to win. I really do. And listen, we wouldn't have picked this prize if it wasn't a high performance prize.
Right, this isn't just some ordinary electric
No,
vehicle that we put in here, right?
480 horsepower plus. We've got those BBS wheels. BBS wheels are like $2,000 a wheel, right?
I'm going to go give you a quick
Show
look at
them.
them. Those BBS, look at those rims and those tires. That is pretty crazy. Those BBSs
That's right.
are nice.
Super expensive wheels from BBS USA, and they're fantastic folks over there. Sound system. I'm not going to play a tune for you right now because we don't want to get into a copyright issue with Facebook. But PJ, show the B&O speaker right there.
Yeah, the whole door seems like
and
it's the
just
speaker.
just fantastic. Whoa! Well, it looks like somebody left that up loud, and I am going to play a song there for like half a second.
But we've got GT call outs here on the side panel here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you've got this, and this is an entire speaker right here.
Right.
This entire part of the vehicle.
B&O, you might have heard of that sound company. I believe that they're out of Denmark or Sweden. They're definitely a European sound company. So a high-end, much better than the AM radio back in the day. And listen, you're not going to be listening to dual exhaust, so you may as well have the tunes cranked. There is something interesting in here, and I'm not going to go punching around to try to find it, but I saw it earlier, and there is some sort of intuitive sound that allows you to know that the vehicle is in motion.
Well, you're talking about you're talking about the sound in systems like this. Kathy says this is equipped with 10 speakers too. I mean,
that's it. And you just pointed out one of them. There's one over on that side. That's 2. There's a matching one over here on this side, PJ. That's 3.
So they're all over the place.
They're all over the place. So a 10-speaker European sound system.
You've got
on
this.
It. You got the panoramic roof. That's very popular now on these crossovers on it. You've got plenty of seating for people.
Yeah, but I'm actually going to hop in the back here, and there's
Go
this
ahead
little
and
button
do
right
it,
there.
PJ.
And it's beautiful back here.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Sit back
Very
here.
nice. And PJ, you got enough leg room back there?
Plenty of leg room. And
And you've got grab handles. You're going to need them for the 480 horsepower and instant torque. You've got them on the front and you've got them on the rear. It's really nice. So you've got 8 days left to enter, guys. So please get your entries to win the Mach GT in our first ever Mach Dream giveaway. And listen, we've got plenty of internal combustion engine Fords and GMs and Dodges for you guys to enter and win as well. So we hope that you'll give the Mach GT a chance. I know that if you found it on your driveway, because you helped out 8 great charities, that you'd really, really have a different perception of it.
So we've got 8 days left, so we're going to go through a lot of the stuff of the vehicle. We've got the front, back,
the next
front.
8 days, yeah.
Yeah, the
Today
front
we're
and
just
stuff like
talking
this.
about it.
Yeah.
So there we have it.
Is this
what
rear?
else is going on this week?
Alan
PJ?
wants to know, is this rear or front wheel drive? And
It's all-wheel drive.
All-wheel
so
drive,
there's
right.
dual motors for the front and for the rear. That's how you get the 480 horsepower.
and they all go at the same time, just like an old RC car that you used to have when you were growing
That's
up
right.
and you used to
Yeah.
hit the throttle and go zing, and it was gone.
Absolutely. PJ, what else is happening this week?
Oh, big day on Friday.
Big day on Friday indeed, right here under Stage A.
Right here for the prize that's on your left.
Right.
For the stage that's on your right.
Yeah, Alan H. from the great state of Arkansas is going to be here to collect his prize.
He's driving it
the
home.
F-150 and the Futura trailer. He will be driving it home to the great state of Arkansas.
Chris,
so we're looking forward to meeting him.
Tell me about a little bit more one thing about this instant torque Kathy's talking about when it comes to this. I know you gave us the horsepower motors.
Right.
The numbers.
So when you think about torque in an internal combustion engine, there's a curve. So it goes like that, and usually it's between in a muscle car maybe could be low at 2,000 RPM, could be a little bit higher, 3,000 or 4,000 RPM. But that's where you feel that pushing you back in the seat of your pants, that force, right? So on this, you don't have to get up the curve at a certain RPM.
It literally starts.
It literally starts from the second that you hit the pedal. So that we call it instant torque. And it is amazing to experience. I so wish that every one of you watching could be here right now in the Dream Giveaway Garage. We'd go out to the back parking lot and we'd let you experience that instant torque of not only this, all the electric cars now have it, that instant torque. And it's because there's no, and again, I'm not an engineer, but you don't have to get up into that band, into that curve of the torque in order to feel that rush.
Kathy says 0 to 60 in under 4.
Under 4. Wow.
Frank says a lot of technology built into these.
Think about that. We were talking about the Super Bee the other day, the 71, and I get it. 71 Super Bee is a cool looking car. That was 0 to 60 in 7 seconds, and this is 0 to 60 in under 4.
Alan says, does it have all the safety warnings with auto drive?
It does. It does. And over the next few days, we'll show you some of the features here on the big old tablet. Maybe we'll even see if we can order a pizza from it, PJ.
That's right.
All right, guys.
Donuts for everybody.
Donuts for everybody. Going to be a great
Alan
week.
says.
Remember, on Friday, we're giving away the Show and Tow Dream giveaway. A winner's already been chosen. After Mach ends, I believe the Roush, the ice Fords will be next. And then before you know it, I can't believe it, we're down to less than 45 days for you to enter to win the classic Corvette with the LSX engine in it.
Roger says, thanks for firing up the Mach-E today.
Yeah, that's right. I hope I didn't hurt your ears with it.
It's pretty funny because the only thing you really heard was just the tires on this,
on the ground.
On the ground here of this
Yeah,
garage.
there you go. We'll see you guys tomorrow. More great fun, more great action, more great grand prizes. Only happens here in our favorite place on earth.